Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks On Outside Xbox. Today we're going to see 7 side quests that you should never complete. Commento edition. Let's hop in.
Side quests are missions that you don't have to complete to finish the game, and as such, you'd think they'd have to be pretty worthwhile to pull you away from saving the world to help someone find their missing cat or whatever. And while that is usually the case, there are some side quests that you should absolutely never finish because they're sad, force you to get rid of some excellent gear, kill off your favourite NPCs, or just have disastrous consequences for the game world in general. Don't believe us?
Yeah, whole lot
Rude.
of shit.
And also, check out these 7 more side quests that you should definitely never finish, as inspired by your comments on our previous video on this topic. Enjoy, and beware spoilers ahead for the following games.
Spoilers! So look out! Elden Ring, Neverwinter Nights, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Geneforge. What the hell is Geneforge?
Bullymong. Rubbish name, isn't it? But I'd like a better one before my almanac goes to print. Search some Bullymong bone piles, will you? I'll learn something about their diets and come up with a catchier name for the beasts.
It's not all easy, breezy, chill vibes being a game developer. Sure, the
course
working
not.
hours are reasonable. And sure, people on the internet only ever tweet at you with respectful commentary. But sometimes you have to come up with a name for a new kind of animal. That was the predicament in which the folks at Gearbox Software found themselves when they designed these burly
Bullymong
four-armed
Slinger.
ape-like creatures for Borderlands 2 and needed to give them a name. The devs eventually settled on the name Bullymong, which is obviously perfect, but not before a whole bunch of
I think it's
debating
fine.
and rejecting of alternative ideas. Some of these alternative naming ideas make a reappearance in a quest in Borderlands 2 called The Name Game, as suggested by commenter Rafnalk. The quest is given to you by Sir Hammerlock.
Hello. Things need to be shot, and by Jove, you're the one to shoot them.
It begins when Sir Hammerlock, who
Okay.
is trying to come up with a better name for Bullymongs, sends you to search piles of Bullymong leavings for inspiration.
It seems
Oh,
Bullymongs
gross.
use those mounds to dispose of their refuse. That suggests a primate-level intelligence. That's it! I shall call them primal beasts.
At this point, when Sir Hammerlock
Primal Beast,
devises
not
the
bad.
new name Primal Beast, every former Bullymong you encounter is now labelled with this new species name. But when you defeat one such
Primelet.
Primal Beast with a grenade, as per the next quest objective, it turns out the new name is a no-go.
Oh, my publisher despises primal beast. Bloody uncultured.
Damn!
Right, what about pheromones?
Ferivore, the second new name for Bullymongs, now appears above every Bullymong in place of the old name.
Anyway, take the new name for a spin. Some of the pheromones projectiles out of the air. See how that name thrills you.
Oh, and look,
But
there
this
it
name
is.
only sticks around for as long as it takes you to blast 3 rocks hurled by the newly named Ferivores. At which
Ow.
point the frustrated Sir Hammerlock hits on his third and wildest alternative Bullymong name.
Bloody balls. Pheromone is trademarked.
Thanks, honey.
Sod it. I'm so sick of coming up with names for... You know what? Bonafart. All of the bets right. We're calling them Bonafarts now.
I'm sorry, what? So, fantastic news. Every Bullymong on
And there
the
they
planet
are.
is now renamed Bonafart, and Bonafarts they will remain. Meaning if you don't ever finish this quest for Sir Hammerlock, there will be Bonafarts everywhere, permanently. What could be better or more amusing? Literally nothing. Except here's the problem. To avoid finishing this side quest, you'll have to play the entire rest of the game without accidentally completing the
bone or
final
two.
quest objective of killing 5 more Bullymongs. I'm sorry, 5 more Bonafarts. Which is going to be almost impossible given the pervasiveness of these big burly guys. Sounds like a worthy challenge to us. Oh wait, oops.
My publisher says I can't call them Bonafarts. Maybe Bullymong's not so bad after all. Come on back.
The
Look at that
dream
thing just
is
drag
over.
itself.
Can you help me, mister? What's the problem? My goddamn horse got spooked and run off. You hurt? Not too bad, at least. But he took my damn leg.
Friends
Oh.
don't come easy in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2, especially when you spend as much time lassoing people and dragging them behind your horse as Arthur Morgan does. That's why, at first glance, the 4-part side mission The Veteran is such a refreshing change of pace, as it gives Arthur a real friend outside of his crime gang who he can spend time with and be himself. That friend is Hamish, who you can find from the start of Chapter 6 onwards in need of some help because his horse Buell has run off with his wooden leg.
Anyway, if you see an angry bastard of a horse, with my wooden leg. I'd be real grateful.
Reunite Hamish with
Okay.
both his horse and his leg, and he'll invite you to stop by his cabin if you're ever in the area to go fishing, which sets up the mission's second stage, in which you and Hamish head out into a nearby lake to fish for the Great Tyrant, a legendary pike, and have a lovely time.
Pass me the tyrant.
Sounds
That is
like a
if you're
good
sure you
time.
want him.
Oh, I ain't gonna poach from your pond.
I'll give him his honors then. He sure was something, huh?
Then comes the third mission, in which the two of you go hunting for a legendary wolf, which is less relaxing.
I was ready to offer my complete and unconditional.
Yeah, I don't think the wolves would have shown much mercy.
No, they would not
That's
have.
quite an ambush he led us into.
Yeah, bushwhacking, I'd call it.
But ultimately, another bonding moment for these two friends.
Wait,
Not bad at all.
here's a pelt.
Thank you.
You earned it. So long.
Now, if you want our advice, you'll end this side quest here. Because if you carry on and do the fourth and final part of it, you and Hamish go out hunting for a giant boar.
Look at the size of that
My
boar.
God.
Holy hell.
I saw some cattle gored the other day, but I didn't think it was possible.
Then your good friend and close confidant gets painfully gored by the boar and dies.
I got thrown and the bastard
Shit.
dog got me.
Hamish, no! Granted, if you do finish this side mission, you get Buell to keep as a horse, which is great news until you remember what happens to your horse at the end of Chapter 6.
Oh my
Word of
God.
Buell.
We're back. Deidre's best friend?
Did you see a dog out there?
In Skyrim's pantheon of deities, Clavicus Vile is a powerful Daedric prince known for striking insidious deals with mortals, making him basically the Wishmaster of Tamriel. If you wished for him to end Skyrim's terrible civil war, for instance,
I'd simply snap my fingers and everyone in Skyrim would die. War resolved.
he's got you there.
Eh,
When you find
technically.
Clavicus Vile in his shrine, however, he's low on magical juice because half of Clavicus Vile's Daedric power resides in his dog, Barbas, who is not here because they've had a big falling out. You encounter Barbas outside the town of Falkreath, where the locals think he's just a nice stray dog, when he is, in fact, a Daedric pet with a telepathic wise guy voice.
You
There
are
he is.
exactly what I was looking for.
Did they have a falling out over the voice, or...? So begins a quest to reunite Barbas with his master, which involves escorting Skyrim's least stealthy dog across half the country, aggroing every enemy along the way. And then you have to battle vampires,
magic.
an Atronach, and a wizard, all to reach the shrine of Clavicus Vile and recover his rueful axe. The rueful axe, by the way, is what Clavicus Vile gave the wizard when the wizard wished for something to cure his daughter of being a werewolf. Again, he's got you there. Having done all of this,
Yeah.
old Clavy V offers you one of his classic deals. You can give him back the magical battle axe, or keep it if you use it to kill his dog.
Simple as that.
I guess he really hates that voice.
Oh,
huh?
God.
Or there's the secret third option suggested by commenter Acetech, who recommends doing neither, thereby never finishing the quest. If you never complete this quest, you get to keep Barbas as a permanent extra companion who is also an invincible damage sponge as you go about the rest of the game.
Oh.
That is, of course,
Yeah, I'd
assuming
keep
you
him.
can put up with him that long.
All right then.
Where did I put that axe?
Bless you.
You never took it.
You're a true saint. My name is Topes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries, as promised. Only, none of them are particularly great.
Elden
Oh,
Ring
they
is an
will be.
empowering story about starting off
They
as a
will
level
be.
0 scrub with a minuscule health bar and persevering until you can hire a ghost clone to do the rest of the game for you. But not everybody in the lands between can be so lucky as to have a murderous ghost doppelganger as a best friend. Some are like Topes, an aspiring mage found hawking spells in a church who you'll empathise with on several levels.
You're tarnished, aren't you? Then, perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied Glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria.
Firstly, because he's a low-level sorcerer who will remind you of your own early struggles, and secondly, because he's essentially locked himself out of his house. And who hasn't been there, am I right?
Oh my God.
Past the seals. I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning.
If you're the kindly sort of tarnished, you'll want to help your new friend Topes and take on the side quest to secure him a spare key to the academy so he can get his life back on track. But let me tell you, things would be a lot better for your wizard buddy if you just left him alone and ignored the rest of this side quest entirely.
And
for starters,
here we
the
go.
Academy of Raya Lucaria hasn't exactly left a spare key under the doormat. More like they've left a spare key on the roof, past the multi-armed killer robots, round the corner from the angry spell-flinging wizard, down these other rooftops, past the gargoyles, down a step, down another step, through the window, along the rafters, down the rafters, and on top of the chandelier.
Holy shit!
Somehow. It's quite the slog, but for a friend, we'll make the effort. And
He'll
besides,
take
presumably
it.
once Topes is installed in his rightful place within the academy, we'll have a friend on the inside who can help us even further.
Perhaps one day you'll pay me a visit? Who knows? I may be a decorated sorcerer by then.
Yes, perhaps. Or perhaps the next time we go to Raya Lucaria, we'll find him dead in a chair!
Oh, come on.
That's right, your friend Topes took the key you helpfully retrieved and used it, and then presumably was effortlessly killed by
Hold on, folks. Be right back. And we're back.
some unnamed monster, or perhaps an unrelated heart condition or gas leak. I guess From Software decided we never need to know. Still, at least we can loot his body to get Topes' barrier, a spell deflection technique which, according to the description, is Topes' life's work, and which we absolutely won't be using because we have a ghost clone who does all of our killing for us.
True. Be right back. Sorry. We're back. Ghost clone!
I'm sure Topes
Nice.
understands. It's an efficiency thing.
The same fluffy,
come
syrupy
on!
pancake.
Okay, that should be the last pause until the end. Now let's just continue on with this. Neverwinter Nights. Never heard of this game.
Neverwinter Nights is based on the rules for Dungeons & Dragons and takes place in one of the most popular campaign settings for D&D, namely the Forgotten Realms. With all this D&D influence going on, it only makes sense to play Neverwinter Nights exactly like we play Dungeons & Dragons, which is to say, screwing over NPCs as hard as possible. If our Dungeon Master is watching, Johnny, you love us really. One such dick move can be achieved
Okay.
when you make your way through the plague-addled, zombie-infested quadrant of the city of Neverwinter, known as Beggar's Nest, where, inside the Temple of Helm, you will find a man taking shelter and waiting for his brother.
Hello.
In all the plaguey
Yeah, he
chaos,
does not look
Bertrand
old.
Penhold was separated from his mage brother Marcus. But not to worry, says Bertrand, Marcus was in possession of a powerful heirloom that will surely keep him safe from the zombie horde.
Okay.
Reader, it did not. When you track down Marcus near the graveyard and a small heap of zombies, you will find he is no longer among the living, or even among the fully clothed. What he is, though, is in possession of a journal in which he's written down his plan to not get murdered by zombies, sucks for him, plus the aforementioned powerful heirloom. This is the Penhold Staff, a magical staff charged with a number of useful spells and presumably enormous sentimental value to the last living member of the Penhold clan. When you return to the Temple of Helm and to Bertrand, your choice, O hero, now becomes whether to complete the side quest by returning the staff to the bereaved Penhold brother, or to leave the quest unfinished and keep the staff for yourself. As commenter Daltigoth notes, if you hold on to the Penhold staff, you can either use its magic yourself, or simply sell it to a vendor for substantially more gold than Bertrand Penhold would have given you as a reward. Of course, you'll have to struggle with the moral implications of screwing over an innocent NPC, but since when has that ever stopped you?
Why not
Hello
just give
to
him the
you.
staff? It's useless.
Hey, my moral alignment is technically evil, so this counts as high-level role-playing.
Whatever you say.
What do you want, Phoebe?
You know Kausos?
The town on the other
Blood
side
people.
of the island? Why?
People that are sick. And my friend Kina is too. There is a blood fever. They say it's a curse and they need help from the gods.
The Trolley Problem
But
is
they
a
probably
series of
won't get.
philosophical thought experiments concerned with the dilemma of whether you should sacrifice one person in order to save a great number of people. You couldn't swing a dead cat in ancient Greece without hitting 2 or 3 philosophers who would then debate the ethics of swinging dead cats. And so, the protagonist of Assassin's Creed Odyssey finds him or herself in the ideal setting for a literal exploration of the trolley problem. In the quest named The Blood Fever, suggested by commenter Crystal109, you encounter a family infected with a deadly plague who are being menaced by a priest and his heavies.
The gods won't help you. This sickness must be destroyed by our hands. We have no choice.
Yes, you do.
Since the plague has already killed many people and the risk of infection from the family puts more lives in danger, the priest is determined to sacrifice this innocent family.
Is there no hope for a cure?
Nothing has worked. Sacrifice. Prayers.
I mean, as you can see, they've tried everything. At this point, you must decide whether to save the family and slay the priest, or side with the priest and leave him to his family murdering business.
Let them go.
What?
If you understandably can't step back and watch a family get murdered, you must put an end to the priest and his men. Afterwards, the plague-infected family thanks you and hits the road so they can go and cough on people in a new town, because no one here has heard of quarantine. Also, hand sanitizer wouldn't be invented for over 2,000 years.
Forget about that. Just travel safely.
Sometime later, you get word that, guess what? A terrible plague has ravaged the island of Kefalonia. Oh,
shit.
No!
A sickness has spread across the island.
If you visit the island, you'll find fun, plaguey set dressing, like people wailing in the streets and piles of burning bodies, and you'll wonder if the trolley problem is actually quite difficult after all. The actual solution, of course, is to leave someone else in charge of pulling the trolley levers, by which we mean when you see a family of plague victims being menaced by a priest, do not engage anyone in conversation, and definitely do not finish this side quest one way or the other, since both outcomes are nastier than a licorice jelly bean. I'm just going to ride a trolley in the opposite direction to this problem.
This week is your chance to try
Sorry. And we're back, hopefully with the last part of this, so we can end all the pausing. Oh. I think I see why this is called
Geneforge is a
Geneforge
role-playing
now.
game in which you play an apprentice mage wearing mage robes who goes around an isometric open world, maging it up. So far, so fantasy RPG. The twist is that the kind of mage you are is a shaper, which means you can create new life forms through the sheer force of your magical will. Among the custom creatures you can create and add to your army of mutants are fire-breathing dinosaurs, muscular furries, and apparently sea monsters shaped like giant pool floats. They were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Despite having these flesh-crafted beasts on your side and fighting for you, it still behooves you to arm yourself with some kind of offensive weapon in case you need to stab someone while your pet velociraptor is on break. That's why when you arrive in the town of Vakiri and the local cook Inerni tells you she's had her best knife stolen, you ought to pay attention. This knife is made of true steel, she says, hardened by magic, a true shaper artifact. And she's using it to chop carrots. What a waste. If you explore, you will find a little girl named Lietz on the edge of the town acting shady. Oh yeah, she looks like a wrong'un. This is when you, the magical knife detective, can get Lietz to give up the stolen goods by saying you think the knife has simply been lost, at which point the girl will leave it lying on the ground for you to find. Now, with the chef's knife in hand, you are faced with a choice. Complete the side quest and return the knife to Inerni, at which point she will give you a discount on food. A discount! Not even free food. And she only sells meat and bread. Or, as pointed out by commenter the Pied Piper, this knife is quite powerful, likely more powerful than your current weapon at this point, and somewhat valuable. Therefore, you'd be better off not finishing the quest, keeping the knife for yourself, and Inerni can go on chopping carrots with her second best knife, none the wiser. It was already stolen.
But you can't
now
equip
it's just stolen by me, so it's a victimless crime.
Hey, thank you so much for finishing this video about side quests you should never finish. Clearly you learned nothing from the previous content of this video. Don't finish things, is the message I'm telling you to take away from this. 2023 is the year of not finishing things. Like, I'm not going to finish this outro.
Then I'm going to finish it. And thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link will be in the description. This is Fox, signing out. Peace.